Hello and welcome, gorgeous Geminis. My name's Rose Smith from absolutesoulsecrets.com. Well, thanks so much for joining me. I'm here to do your tarot astrology for June, gorgeous Geminis. And what a big, super big, in case I wasn't really enhancing that enough, month it is this month. So there are 6 retrograding planets this month. There are 3 retrograding asteroids and there are 2 eclipses. This is a lot for everybody to try and deal with, especially like all of that energy coming up and then integrating that energy into our personalities. So with 2 eclipses this month, something to bear in mind is that the effects of eclipses can last up to 6 months, and there are actually 6 eclipses this year in 2020, so that in itself is a bit unusual, and to have all of the planets retrograding is very unusual. Okay, so it gives us a lot of opportunity, however, for transformation. So, you know, there's a silver lining to everything. Retrogrades by their very nature are disruptive, but we can use that disruption to change our lives for the better. So I'll just show you this little diagram just to get it all in perspective. And you can see really from May through to the rest of the year, but particularly October, November, there is a lot happening. And for you, just quickly to go through some of these retrogrades, what they mean for you, gorgeous Gemini, you'll see Mercury there from the 17th of June to the 12th of July going retrograde in Cancer. And I must add too, there's a shadow period on either side of all of the retrograde dates to consider, because even though the effects are not full, either side there are partial effects, okay, of the retrograde. So first one is Mercury, which is retrograde in your second house of finances. So retrogrades are about just stopping and reflecting, reviewing and reassessing your situation. So they're in your house for finances and values. You may be looking very closely at your income and ways to improve your money flow. And it's also about self-value as well. You know, ways that you value yourself. How have you been selling yourself short? Okay, is another question you can ask yourself. Then you'll see Venus retrograde from 13th of 5th to the 25th of the 6th. And Venus is the planet of love. It's also finances. So you've got a sort of double lot of, you know, financial implications there, because Venus loves money and looks after money. She also looks after peace, beauty and art. And when she goes retrograde, you could find that somebody from the past comes back. She is very tied up with the idea of the divine feminine and the divine masculine as well. So somebody from your past who's an ex could come back, or even ex-friends for that matter, or somebody from your school days could come back in this retrograde period. And my main advice would be to, remind yourself, why are they an ex? Okay, if they're an ex, why is that? Has the situation resolved, or, you know, has it just sort of morphed into a different animal that you may not recognize immediately? You know, the leopard changing its spots. Normally they don't. They might look like they do. My Bengal cat, he has spots and he goes darker in the winter, but he still has spots. So he's a bit harder to recognise because all of his fur goes dark. So that might be a lesson for some. Jupiter's going retrograde in your 8th house of other people's money again. You know, big focus on money. It's also intimacy and hidden secrets. And Jupiter likes to expand things, so it could bring something out of the closet or something hidden If you have sort of, for example, any addictions with Jupiter, which is retrograde from the 13th, the 5th to the 14th of September, by the way, it can bring out those addictions, and you might find that you're eating more or smoking more or drinking more or working more, whatever the addiction is, because, you know, humans are strange and wonderful creatures. We can get addicted to anything. So, you know, when it's retrograde, you might find that, yeah, you start doing that more and more, and then you realize in the retrograde, hey, this is not healthy. And so the retrograde actually has some really beneficial effects with Jupiter, because then it gives you insight, and then you say, well, I can stop doing this. Instead of expanding the unhealthy behaviors, you can decrease under Jupiter retrograde the unhealthy behaviors. Saturn is retrograde also in your 8th house, and that is from 11th of 5th to 29th of September. And Jupiter and Saturn there in Capricorn, so there's real physical effects here. We're not just talking about what goes on in spirit or emotionally. We're talking about physical consequences to these retrogrades. And with Saturn, sometimes it brings up, particularly in the retrograde, it can bring up issues with fatherhood or authority figures. So, for example, if you're in a relationship where your partner is like a father figure, or he's telling you what to do, or he's dominating you in some way, this retrograde is a chance for you to reassess the whole relationship. There you can see with Venus, Jupiter and Saturn all sort of pushing you towards evolution and independence. Okay, people sometimes think that Venus, you know, loves love, and we do. I'm a Libran. But not at the expense of your independence, okay? So any codependent behaviours, these retrogrades will bring up. Neptune is retrograde in your 10th house of career and reputation from the 23rd of June right through to the 28th of November. And with Neptune, it's a very spiritual planet, but sometimes there are illusions and delusions. And because it's in your 10th house, your career may be affected in some way. So be cautious about making decisions, particularly about your career with Neptune there, because you might be under a, you know, misunderstanding or misapprehension about something, and maybe your thinking is a bit fuzzy and unclear, and it could have far-reaching consequences for your career and also your reputation. Pluto is retrograde in your 8th house of other people's money and intimacy again. So you can see there is a big focus on other people's money and intimacy with Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto. And Pluto is retrograde from the 25th of April right through to the 4th of October, again in Capricorn. So real physical effects on the earthly plane. That is a ton of stuff right there, you know. So, and I didn't even count do the asteroids. So there is a video, I've made a video on the planetary retrogrades and the asteroids and their retrogrades, and I'll leave the link in the description. But let's go to the board now, and the first thing I'm going to do is draw 2 cards which will be themes for the month for you. So if you haven't followed me before, I'll just really quickly say how I do all this is I draw 2 cards, I look at your horoscope, and then I'll do a tarot reading for the month for you and a psychic summary at the end. Gorgeous Geminis, month of June. These cards are falling out. This one, it's just fallen out with this one underneath it. Okay, so the Hermit card. This hardly ever comes out until recently. And obviously, that's about you retreating into yourself and looking for answers and looking to release trapped, blocked energies in your body at a cellular level. You'll see here the wolf. I nearly called him a dog, but he's not. Well, like he's a type of dog, yeah. He's a wolf, okay? And wolves are symbols of teaching, okay? So you can learn a lot under the auspices of the Hermit card. Time to really go within yourself and shine a light at those deep, deep things within so that you can release them and be free. And the Hermit here is sitting on a mountain, and a mountain can be, is often a challenge, okay? So some challenges in your life, but the Hermit and the energy of the wolf can help you get through that. And underneath that was the energy of the Emperor, okay? So this can be, it's got two sides to it, to be quite honest. The Emperor can be domineering, controlling, can be the patriarch telling you what to do, okay? And we all have this energy within ourselves as well. Sometimes it's our mind that tells us what to do, which is just runs us ragged in following our thoughts, what we think we should be doing, rather than what spirit is inclining us to do, okay? So this guy can be good if you want safety, if you want stability. You'll know where you are. It's also about government officials and departments telling you what to do. If you're in Australia, that might be like the taxation department or Centrelink, and you've got to jump through their hoops, okay? But regardless of what country you're in, if you're a gorgeous Gemini, just keep your lookout for people telling you what to do. It's best not to get involved with their systems, and just to do your own thing, and of course be very careful that you don't infringe on other people's rights in terms of their safety, because we still have, in many countries, we still have a very big problem with COVID. Not in Australia or New Zealand, we don't, because our governments took very strong action early March, so we don't have the problems that some other countries do. But do be careful of this energy within yourself and in your governments, or even your relationships, somebody telling you what to do. Okay, so they're your themes for the month, by the way. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out in the tarot deck later on. But let's have a look at your horoscope now, and I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so that you can see. And first thing I want to talk about is Mars in your 10th house up here from May 11th through to June 28th, okay? So right to the end of the month, and then it pops over here. So this is all about your job, your career, and feeling really motivated to get something done and to achieve here. Just be careful of your temper. Sometimes Mars, being so passionate, has a full-on temper as well, and particularly in the workplace or with regard to work. June 2 to June 6, Venus trines your moon. So it's a lovely time for relaxing at home with your family and friends, and you get a lot of pleasure out of that. It's also a good time with Venus for making your home life beautiful, okay? So Venus trining your moon. Okay, so next one, May 19th to June 20, Sun in your first house. Happy birthday, gorgeous Geminis. The Sun is here giving you a lot of insight, more confidence, more vitality, and helps you to make an impression on other people, gives you insight and wisdom. May 27th to August 4, Mercury here in your second house of finances and values. Lots of communications regarding these. It's a good time to consult a financial planner, and so you'll be thinking also about your finances a lot as well. 5th of June, lunar eclipse over here in your 7th house of committed relationships brings up energies that may have been stuck down in your subconscious. And when you have so much happening over here in your 1st house, your sign, the two sort of activate off each other. You know, they set each other off. So while you're focused on yourself, your relationships may excuse me, your relationships may also call for some attention. So it's really important time to get the balance right. And this can be personal relationships or business relationships. It's also the house of open enemies and legalities as well. So, you know, maybe there's something there, but usually it's about your personal and business relationships. 9th of June to July 12, Saturn trines your ascendant, and that's going to give you a lot more sort of stability and maturity now. It's about long-term agreements and mutual respect in business and moving forward in your life, you know, what is expanding in the future, okay? And if you have any legal issues, they could be actually running more smoothly. Saturn here, trining your ascendant there. June 9 to June 13th, Mercury square your moon, so emotions rising up. It's good to speak up and express yourself clearly. Do so in a way, though, that doesn't sort of run over the top of other people. You could also be feeling a bit nostalgic with, you know, memories from the past coming up. 21st is a solar eclipse in your 2nd house. Here again, your finances, new beginnings. You could think of ways to make more money, get a new job, get a promotion, be more careful with your budgeting, cut back on your spending. But whichever way you look at it, your finances are likely to have a lot going on, and especially opposite here to other people's money. You may be looking at a loan, you may be looking at even an inheritance, or using your superannuation if you're in Australia, or 401k if you're in the US. June 20 to June 24, Mars sextiles Jupiter. New opportunities for growth with positive outcomes. Go for it. There's a lot of energy around that, okay? Mars sextiling Jupiter. Okay, 27th of June to December 19th, Saturn in your 9th house here. Gives you more responsibility around higher learning, teaching, wisdom. This is a house of the higher mind. It's also great. It's also great for spirituality. You might find that you're becoming more interested in getting a structure. If you have a spiritual practice, you might get a structure around it, because Saturn loves that. If you have a spiritually based business, you might find you're getting more organized, okay? So it's not about just doing things willy-nilly. It's about having schedules. If you're seeing clients, having proper appointment times, and Saturn loves a structure. But if you're just sort of, you know, doing like a hobby, or you're playing at it, or you're not really putting proper mental thought and structure and stability around it, Saturn will not like that, okay? And June 26th to January 7th, Mars in your 11th house moves over to here. Gives you a lot of motivation around finding new friends and groups. You might let go of some people, and also there could be a leadership role there. You might be feeling very competitive also. You want to take action. Sports is a good outlet for that. June 28th to July 2nd, Mars sextiles Saturn. Gives you a lot of self-discipline, training, perseverance, stamina to concentrate and to focus. So there's some really good things for you here in your horoscope, gorgeous Geminis. It's all about you, your values, your finances, your career, and also this question of intimacy is a very big question for you. Okay, let's have a look now at your tarot spread for the month of June and see what we come out with for gorgeous Geminis. First week of June. I'm going to go with that one on top. Closing my eyes now. Still got the Hermit card in front of me in my face, and it just gives me the feeling of more alone time. It's not the same as being lonely. It's about accomplishing, getting stuff done on your own without other people interfering. Okay, and we have the Six of Pentacles come up again about your finances. Okay, so I'm just going to put this back to the board properly so you can see it. Okay, so Six of Pentacles, there's money coming in and there's money going out, and you have to work out giving and receiving. Sorry, it's not 6, it's 9. I just saw a hands like that and I assumed it was 6. It's 9. Sorry. End of the cycle. End of the cycle regarding your finances. This is like a windfall is going to come through. Like you've been going through a cycle for a long time about money, and it's coming to the end of that so that you can start a new cycle. This could be beautiful, in fact. You'll see she's wearing beautiful blue satin there with gold at the top, which is gold's very spiritual and it's a high vibration. And this could be expressing what you need, and also creatively, not just sort of talking for talking's sake, but speaking creatively and expressing yourself creatively, which enhances your income in the first week of the month or thereabouts. Right, the second week of the month for gorgeous Geminis. Let's see what comes out for you. Looking for a card. That one. Closing my eyes now. What do I see? Okay, I see a platter of food being served with the words dinner is served. This is about self-nurturance and nurturing others. Food is always a great symbol for energy and integrating energy. And when I say integrating, I mean that you absorb that energy from other sources from your subconscious, and then you have control of it. Okay, so nurturing, being nurtured, and helping other people out. And again, it's Pentacles, and this is a Page of Pentacles, and it's good news about your finances or the things you value. There's a lot that's unknown, but some things are known. See, this black is unknown, white is known, and red is action. So good news coming regarding finances, and it may be that those people that you help out at one point come back and help you out at another point. Okay, so the nurturing pays off. Middle of the month to the third week of the month. Let's see what we come up with for gorgeous Geminis. And this one's just popped out, which is the Knight of Swords. Okay, Knight of Swords is about expanding your horizon, taking the big picture view. Don't get caught in the details. Swords are a very mental energy. This relates to your head and your thinking. So allow your thoughts to, expand and try and think outside the box, because creativity is a strong force with you this month. See, she's got her sword raised in the air high. This is about cutting, dissecting, analysing and making decisions. Decide what you're going to let go of so that you can concentrate more on the big picture and not get caught in the details. Especially if you're in business, there's always so many details, and the details can actually slip you up. You get caught on details sometimes. So, but you have to, the other side of that is you have to let go of them sometimes so that You can see the big vision, okay? We're calling you to a bigger vision of yourself and your life. 4th week, this one's just popped out. This is the 6 of Cups. This is about abundant, feeling abundant. Even if you don't have that money that you would like, it's like raising your frequency so that at least you feel abundant, okay? So happiness, and there's lots of cups here with flowers down the bottom and green leaves. So there's growth coming to you. A lot of green in this card. She's wearing green. Green is about growth and opportunity, and it can also be about money, but there's even joy with this, you know, so not just happiness, it's joy about just being who you are. Okay, so let's go. Oh gosh, these cards, I don't know, it must be my hands today, they're just not working. All right, I managed my breakfast okay, so I don't understand it. All right, so we're looking at the last 2 days of the month for Gorgeous Geminis for June. I'm going with that one. Closing my eyes now. What do I see? I get the colour pink. That's about self-healing and love. Okay, spiritual love of yourself first, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself. So you see the themes that are coming out: creativity, money, and self-nurturance. And we come up with the 4 of Wands. Okay, so this is an opportunity that's coming up. There's a window here. As a result of the actions that you've previously done, there's a window of opportunity. See these 4 baseball bats? See all this green growth? And you could be feeling very motivated to make the most of the opportunities that come. It's also a time at the end of the month for taking the harvest. So take a bit of a reward for all of your work and your creativity, and just for being who you are. Celebrate who you are. It's a good time for rest and relaxation as well, just to recharge the batteries, rejuvenate, so that you can allow your creativity to come out. Okay, so enjoy a little bit of harvest from what what you've been doing in the month. You might decide to go out, and maybe have dinner or go out with some friends or something like that as a bit of a treat. It's probably a treat now, especially with COVID, that we haven't been going out very much. Pentacles, swords, cups, wands. Okay, so focus on your money, and there's some analytical thinking, there's some joy, and there's some inspiration and motivation there. Alrighty, so now I'm going to close my eyes and just summarize for you, Gorgeous Geminis, June. Okay, so I see doors to the past being closed, and sometimes we need to do that so that we can make space for new things that are coming in. I've got green when I'm saying that. So when you're concentrating on growth and opportunity, you don't want to get caught up with stuff coming up from the past, basically. So that's what that's about. I'm now looking at the waves rolling in on the shore. This is your subconscious. It's a beautiful sunny day, and it's just lovely in this spot down at the beach with the gentle waves coming in. Your subconscious giving you energy, vitality, and also rest and relaxation. So that's really important. It would be good if you could maybe have a weekend off or a couple of days off towards the end of the month to recharge, as I said before. I see like a shower, having a shower, and there's a lot of steam, and that's about cleaning up your act. Okay, so we're always in a constant state of cleaning what's going on in our subconscious. Okay, you might do that physically too. You might clean your home or something like that, but this is primarily about cleaning yourself and doing the general maintenance of your subconscious and cleaning out all those bits of energy that need to be released. Okay, and I'm lastly at the end here seeing firecrackers going off, so a time of celebration, and I just want to say well done you for getting through the month and achieving so much. Okay, all right. I hope you found this helpful, gorgeous Geminis. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be doing Cancer soon, moving on to that horoscope. But if you have liked it, please give it a like. YouTube really likes that. If you actually interact on the channel, would help me a lot, because I'm trying to grow my channel. I am growing my channel. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. But most importantly, have a wonderful month and a very insightful month. Okay, thank you and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.